Hello everyone, so welcome back to lesson 3 of Python for IGCSE. So in this lesson we're going to continue with if statements, but we're going to be looking at something called a nested if statement. So basically a nested if statement is an if statement that if it's true, if the statement in the if statement is true, we go on to ask another if statement. But if the if statement is false, we never ask that question. Okay, so that might sound a little bit confusing, but when we type it, hopefully it'll look a little bit more clear. So I'm going to write a really short program to allow a user to input or take a guess at what type of pet I have. Okay, so I'm going to get them to guess the breed and then, well, the actual type of pet and then the breed. Okay, so I'm going to have pet and I'm going to make it equal to a dog. And then I'm going to have a breed and I'm going to make it equal to a Cocker Spaniel. Right, now I'm going to go into my, no I'm not, I'm going to ask the person to input their guess. Okay, so I'm going to have a guess and I'm going to make it equal to an input and I'm just going to ask a question, and this is a string, remember, because I haven't put the data type in. Guess what type of pet I have. And then here I'm going to open up my if statement. So I'm going to say if, and I'm going to say guess, and that's this here. If guess is equal to pet, which is currently equal to dog, then do the following. Now just for here now, I'm just going to write past there because I just want to go back and I'm going to finish this off before I write into here. Okay, so I'm going to say else. So if this statement is false, we're going to go to the else, and then I'm just going to print, let's say, unlucky, guess is not my pet. I have a pet. Okay, so if this is true, we're going to run this code, what we're going to write in a second, and then if it's not true, it's going to run the else. All right, so I can delete this pass now. And then in here, I'm going to, first of all, give them a message to say they got right. So, well done. You are correct. And then I'm going to ask another question. So I'm just going to call it guess one, and make it equal to another input, and say, can you guess the breed? And now I'm going to open a second if statement. So this is the nested part, because this if statement here, this is nested inside of this if statement. So this if statement that we're just about to write will never happen unless this statement is true, because it's indented in. This is why it's called nested. Okay, so I'll say if guess one is equal to breed, and do the following. And then let's say print, trying to think what to say now. Well done, you are a great guesser. I have a pet named Toby. Okay, and then let's finish this off by putting an else, and then we can say print sorry, I don't have a guess one. Let's just say I have a breed. Okay, so let's just have a quick rerun of what we've just did before I run it, and then we'll stop this video and we can have another look at a different type in the next one. So I set a variable, made it equal to dog. I set a second variable and I made it equal to Cocker Spaniel. Then I created a guess that allowed the user to input their guess. If the guess was equal to pet, which in this case is dog, I would say, well done, you were correct, and then go on to ask them if they can guess the breed. And then once they've guessed the breed, I would compare their guess to my breed, which was a Cocker Spaniel. Then I would say, if they guess right here, I would say, well done, you guessed right. And then if they didn't guess right, I would print, sorry, you haven't guessed right. And then finally, right at the bottom here, this will be ran straight away if this one was false. Okay, so if this statement was false, none of this would happen. It would just jump straight to the else. Right, if this statement's true, it would go and do this if statement after it's ran this code. And then if that statement was true, it would run this. If this statement was not true, it would run that. And because this one was originally true, the else would never get ran here. Okay, so let's give it a quick run before we finish. And let's have a look. What sort of pet do I have? I'm just going to say dog straight off the bat. And it says, oh, it says unlucky. I tell you why, because I put dog in small letters. And if you look here, it's in capital. And remember, Python is case sensitive. And in later lessons, we'll look at how we can fix this problem. But for now, we don't need to worry about it. But I will write dog. Well done, you are correct. What type of breed do you have? Cocker Spaniel. Well done, you are a great guesser. Okay, just for good measure, I'll run it again and run it wrong. So we can see already that when I did the first one with dog, not a capital D, that worked. So we can skip that because we know that would give me the wrong guess. And then now I can say maybe I want to say I don't know, a bulldog. And then you can see, sorry, I don't have a bulldog. Okay, so that is the nested if statement. Okay, and we use it if the first question will lead to a second question. That is when we need a nested if. And you can have as many nested ifs as you like, but you do need to be careful when you're writing code, because you can end up with a scenario where you have your indentation that can kind of like go all the way in and then all the way back out like this, and that's not ideal. Okay, but for now we don't need to worry about that. All right, so I'll leave this video for now, and I'll see you in the next video when we're going to have a look at Boolean expressions where we can test multiple things in an if statement. So I will see you then.